All right, we're going to watch Nico's backstroke here, just from above the water, just to see if we see anything different. The one thing in watching this earlier, Nico, your head doesn't move at all. Like, you do such a good job of keeping that head still. Absolutely love that. Above the water, you can kind of see this thumb, and we've talked a lot about this thumb on the freestyle as well. You tend to keep your thumb open too much. I'd like to see you get your thumb a little bit closer to your hand and make it more of a paddle, because really the wider you keep that hand, that's really not giving you any extra pull, right? But if you get that thumb in closer to your hand, then all of a sudden you're actually extending your paddles, which are your hands, and making a little bit better pull as you're getting through the water. Not so bad on the left. That left side actually looks a little bit better. It's hard to see from this distance, right? But that left hand entry looks a lot better as far as keeping your thumb together. Now, the other thing we really, really like here is as you're entering and exiting, you can see these shoulders coming up above the water. Right here at the top of your stroke, that's where you want to be turning from your thumb to your pinky, and that's exactly, you're right in the mid part of that, so you're right where you need to be. And as you turn that hand in, good job. And again, so here's where closer. Look at that thumb, Nico. Okay, now let's look at the right hand and see what our right hand does. Oh, no, our right hand here looks good. So now you start to fix it a little bit. So for one reason or another, your thumb kind of changed halfway through the very beginning. So good here. Make sure the thumb stays like that at all times. Now you can see a nice steady kick, and every now and again you can see those legs come above the water, but that kick really does need to be stronger, okay? So it's good steady legs, but I think if you get them up a little bit higher, you're going to find a lot more speed and a lot more strength. And the one thing we talk all the time about is kicking, kicking, kicking. You got to kick all out. So let's work on that kick a little bit. As we go into the turn here, I want you to look at your hand entry and kind of look. You got your head going down here, but look at your fingers. It almost looks like you're trying to skip your hand above the water. Make sure you drive your hand in the water just like you would on freestyle, right? You want to drive those fingertips down and really grab that water right away as you turn over. Your hand's a little bit too flat as you start to pull in. As you go in, you can see those feet are right side by side next to each other. Do make sure we place those feet about hip width apart. It does kind of help get a little bit more strength. Oh, interesting. Okay, here. So you start to, here you got them nice and tight together. As you get halfway through, right here you did start to separate them, okay? So get those feet a little bit more separate a little bit earlier, and then we're going to be perfect. Good job of streamlining, good dolphin kicking. Those last three look like they're a little bit more tired, and it may be a little bit deep. I know when we looked at the underwater, you definitely went deep. You may have gone a little bit too deep, and that may be why those last couple kicks aren't as strong. But as you start that first stroke, you're a good body length past those flags. This breakout wasn't quite as strong as the earlier one, and I'll show you why. Right here where your head's breaking the surface, you actually have both hands almost at your hips. So you've got to get your left hand out a little bit quicker. You don't want this right hand pulling quite so early. And definitely when you're coming up here, you can see heads above water. Both hands are almost at the exact same spot. So this hand down here is going to sit there for a little bit longer than you want. So you got to work that breakout just a little bit better. Okay, see how it was still there? Good, but make sure we work on those little things, okay? Thanks, Nico.